and continuing the process of talking about the subclasses in the book Noctis, which Becker Kid is on the way right now. Right now, it's at a big fat goose egg, which is always great to see. But I'm in it for the long haul, and like I said, I didn't plan it out very well, so we'll see. If not, I'll just be doing a lot of artwork for the rest of the year.
Maybe there's a happy tree, evergreen tree. He lives right there.
What I wanted to talk about was something that doesn't happen. It does not happen in any other books put forth by WotC. And I have not seen a character concept in any role-playing game system I've ever seen. It's unique. It came about because me and this other guy were playing in a game, and we kind of got caught up in the mercantile aspect of playing. So like when you killed a monster, it's like, oh, how much can we eke out of this thing? Like the teeth, the eyes. Oh, it's got a basilisk. What if it's, it's like Harry Potter. That thing's poisonous. What if we like extract the poison? Killed a beholder. Those eyes have to be worth something. Other documentation about that where like you can actually find out what the gold piece value is of certain items off things that you kill in D&D. It's almost the whole game is killing other than role-playing. I came up with a subclass called the Merchant Lord. So usually that's an NPC. Like the party is hired by someone that's like a merchant lord. They're not part of the royal court, but they have a lot of political power and a little bit of money. And I'm like, why not make a PC that? Right? I wanted to make something that could be done by bards, because bards usually are kind of face men. A rogue would be really good at this too, actually. So both the rogue and the bard can actually choose Merchant Lord as their subclass. Delve into the rich society of the Merchant Lord. You get the first power on your list, which is your reputation precedes you. So the idea is that your family is so well known in wherever community you are or society, wherever you start, that people want to curry favor with you. Like at a tavern or food, so a night's stay. As long as you make a persuasion check, DC 10, you can stay for free, you can eat for free, drink for free, because they're so amazed that you're just staying there. You're like a little local celebrity. Anything in the PHB or stuff that you buy that are normal items, you can get at half price. Along with that same persuasion check. Okay, like let's assume your group's like, oh, we got to go on this mission. We need a cart, and a cart costs a lot, but you're like, oh, I don't want to be out that money forever. You press your contacts, and you don't need to roll for this. You can just kind of request it. As long as you can pay for the item full price, if you come back and it is undamaged and you return it, you gain that money back to your character. So it's like it's on loan. Like, here, let me borrow your cart for a little bit. Don't worry, it's fine. Your deposit back. The other thing you get is the rumor mill. So people want to tell you things. They, like I said, they want to curry your favor. You get the ability to kind of find out what's going on the street. You'll have to collect like seemingly unimportant bits of information and weave or connect them to make persuasion requests more authentic. So when you're like requesting things street, if you can make a history check DC 10, you can kind of give yourself advantage on this next skill check that you want to do that's more important for you, right? Your ear, basically using the rumor mill, allows you to kind of take that advantage in the negotiation. Still, like at third level is closer. If you already have the skills history and investigation, you gain expertise in those skills. If you don't have those skills, you just get them. Your parents, if they're still alive, pull you into the fold, and they teach you about society and the people that you might be dealing with, and that's how you gain those skills. As a closer, you can, like I said before, you make a history check DC 10, plus the CR of the counterparty that you're trying to negotiate with. But this is a little bit more specific. So say you go to the king, and he's going to hire your guys. Like, so Vox Machina in the beginning, right? They were negotiating in the very first beginning of the season. They're negotiating in the throne room. Try and figure out if you can eke out a better deal. So if you can manage to get like super high DC roll, you can get like 50% more. He offers 200 gold pieces to your party to kill these goblins in a cave. You eke out an extra benefit, and you get 300 instead of 200. And in fact, if you roll really well, they may even give you items bordering on magical, so mundane magic items to assist you in your cause. You also get like an attaché, so you get a henchman. So at third level in 5e, at third level also in 2024, you gain a henchman. So in Tasha's cauldron, there is stuff in the back of the book for sidekicks. So you can choose from an expert, a spellcaster, or a warrior, and this person is pretty much loyal to you. Now, if you don't pay them, like At the end of the week, you don't pay their wages. They may start to become surly, and they can sour a deal that you maybe you're trying to do. So they give you disadvantage on, like, if you're trying to persuade someone or intimidate someone, they may make a snide remark that ruins that moment. It's good to pay your people. Once you level up and you get to 5th level, you gain a holding. Now, I didn't know at the time that I made this that in 2024 they were going to come out with Bastions. Thanks for reading my mind. But I think it's a really good idea. As soon as they came up with Bastions, I was like, oh, 5th level, you get a holding, is what I called it. So in 5e, if you're doing that and they don't have Bastions, with this character, you get a holding. Base level, it's got a certain bit that's like a warehouse that you can kind of like you operate out of. And you can basically pay money to upgrade it. And every time you do, it gets higher level security, guards, and it gets other staff. So people that can like basically work on your behalf while you're away. They make trades for you and deals. And it earns money for you while you're off adventuring. You get a blanket income. There's only 5 levels to a holding, which I will show you now. Your henchman also gets experience. He gets a feat at 5th level. And you also gain a power called Friends in High Places. Someone that is loyal to you, either you saved them or you helped them out of a desperate situation, like save face with the royal court or something like that. They owe you. Over than that, they like you. You gain a piece of jewelry that has the sending spell attached to it, and once per day you can have a sending to this person. This is a power that I wanted it to be adaptable. So you and the GM kind of negotiate in a meta type of way. You're negotiating how this deal gets done. Probably about once a week you can make a request, because it takes a lot of logistics to like money and time and hiring people to get out to do whatever this is you request. Your horses die or something. You're like, we need more horses. Let's go to the next town. There's a donkey and a cart waiting for you there. Good luck. Calling into the office or something. But that's kind of what this is. It's someone that you've got friends that want to help you out. This is where you actually start to get a little bit of combat prowess. So at 7th level, I wanted to do something. Everything else has been more social and roleplay supportive. Oh, they're just a drain on us. They're still a rogue or a bard, so they have other abilities. Once you get to 7th level, they can shine brightly in combat for just one moment. Done some numbers on this, and it's pretty gritty, upwards of like 50 to 70 points of damage. But it's got to be just right. There's a power called Hidden Blades at 7th level. So per your intelligence modifier, you can hide a number of one-handed finesse weapons all over your body, and they are imperceptible. So like a stiletto knife stuck in your hair, frock jacket, within the lining of that, you have hidden blades on your person. In a moment's notice, you can pull those out really quickly to gain an advantage. You roll as a bonus action, you can make an impromptu deception check against your target's insight. And if you beat it, you get to immediately use your reaction to make an attack with one of these hidden blades. I should mention, if you are a bard for this one moment, you gain the ability of sneak attack with this attack. So much in keeping with the idea that bards can kind of take other people's powers and use them in a moment, this is one of those moments for a bard. If you were a rogue merchant lord, you get to use your sneak attack twice in one turn. That's why it gets really deadly. A merchant lord that's a bard is like, they're more charming, versus a rogue that's a merchant lord might be a little more rough. They might use more intimidation. Saying the law that, this dark side of the street. You don't want to cross me, all right? You're going to better pay me back, all right? Like a grizzled guy. Oh, you don't want to cross like one-eyed Toby, whatever your name is. One with your main hand. Bam! You use your bonus action to make your deception check, and you get it. And then you immediately get to use your reaction and do your offhand attack, normal attack, sneak damage, your dexterity bonus. With your hidden blade, you get the exact same thing again, but you get to add in your intelligence modifier on top of that. So it would be your weapon damage, your dex modifier because it's a finesse weapon, your intelligence modifier, and then your sneak damage on top of that. So quickly you do sneak attack, your pants are down, like that, and then you stab him with your hidden blade, and you do another sneak attack. So as the rogue, you can shine pretty brightly for one moment. At 7th level, your right hand, which is that is in reference to your sidekick. So before, there's the idea that like you had to pay him in order for them to be loyal. By this time, your working relationship with your sidekick. If you're Birdie Wooster, it's your Jeeves. Or Jarvan, I don't know, Iron Man, right? So this sidekick gets a second saving throw proficiency. You also have a prescient kind of knowledge. You and your sidekick are used to fighting next to each other. A souped up version of pack tactics. If you are base to base within 5 feet of your sidekick and you're fighting the same target, irrespective of what's going on around you or how much disadvantage you have, you always get advantage on your attacks. Both of you do. Weaving and dodging, and you know how, like, good shot, sir. So well, it's you know what you're doing. So at 10th level, you get a power called Landed Gentry. So you already have a holding. That's your mercantile base of operations. So like the Bastion in 2024, they dip between a mercantile style Fortress of Solitude, a library, someplace where you can kind of go off and hide out. This is meant to be a souped up like manor castle. So at 10th level, in the old versions of first edition, that would have been when you have reached name level, become a Knight Lord, Ranger, and actually get the title of like a Ranger Lord. I think you get Ranger at 8th, but you get Ranger Lord at 10th. I wanted a 10th level to be, I wanted a 10th level, my dog. He wants food. Can you wait for a second? I'll feed you in a second. Okay, thank you. Curried in a favor with court or with other nobles, you've granted a small plot of land and a title. Baron, Lord, probably not Duke, that would be pretty high, but Count, Marquis, like it depends on the region and the style of the campaign you're doing, but you have a title. This is all kind of the negotiation with the GM. The point is it was going to be fun for you and the GM to kind of figure this out. You have a staff that needs to be hired on, so you need a cook, a maid, groundskeeper, a butler, footman. There are certain bits that comes with the house or none. It depends on how you want to negotiate that with where you are and what type of holding it is. It allows you to do what's called gala events, and I'm going to put this up on the screen now. Different types of actions as a gala event. So it's you can do diplomatic relation events, establish trade routes. You can do information gathering, or you can even assassinate somebody. So if there's a villain that you desperately want to get out of the way, if you're a nefarious merchant lord, you can actually set up an assassination attempt on their life. This series of checks that you'll do that lead up to a moment of truth. And depending on how you do with these different checks, which involve like history checks, persuasion checks, performance checks, deceptions checks, until finally the moment of truth when you're trying to like go against, the individual that you want to either persuade, coerce, kill, or charm, whatever. So it's basically the DC is higher. So it's like 20 plus the CR of the target you're going for. So it could get up to a CR 30 pretty easily. You gain a +2 to your roll based on how successful you were in your past skill checks, or a negative on how crappy you rolled, or any of the things that are going against you. And it's a very fun thing that I think will add a roleplay element that the whole party can kind of assist with. That the merchant lord is kind of helping to puppeteer, but they don't just take over the whole game. It's everyone working together to try and do all these skill checks and get this evening done. Plus, it's kind of fun versus just like, oh, we're going to go out and kill the next thing and grab the next thing and return. There's some roleplay element here that makes it really, really exciting. At 14th level, you get what's called loved and feared. And people are somewhat afraid of your connections, that they will stay clear of your trade routes, your caravans, your ships. If you're a mage, you could cast a sanctuary on yourself, and people have to kind of like make a saving throw to even want to attack you. Kind of similar in this way. So like, let's say your caravans go through orcish areas, but they've heard of you as the merchant lord. There's kind of a saving throw that goes through all this. Yeah, okay. They've been shadowed, and the guy, you get word or information from a caravan. Yeah, we were shadowed by this orc tribe, but they didn't attack us. You'll gain that information, but it will spare you the loss of goods and services, and perhaps people as well. You also get what's called marked for death. About the idea of making this kind of like a level 20 power, but in this game, How many times have you really gone to level 20? It happens at level 18. You have so much political power that the merchant lord can, through bureaucratic ties, they convince the crown through a persuasion roll, DC 25. They are an enemy of the state. Treason, whatever you wish to slander them with, or they may very well have done those crimes. You need to have an eyewitness or some sort of evidence on top of your skill roll, but if you do it, this person is marked for death.
Well, there it is.
So either by royal edict, issued to be apprehended. Whether this means actual death or not remains to be seen. There's the idea that they could get caught, put in jail, and then find a way to escape. The region that you're in is looking for this person, and you're the one that put the finger on them. You're like, oh, nah, you will not survive another. This person is a treasonous wretch, the danger of the crown, my lord. You must apprehend them immediately. And they'll send off their troops to kind of do it. And that person's being harried constantly by the guards. And that's pretty much it. So you're getting your rogue abilities, or you're getting your bardic spells and abilities. But apart from that, I think this is a really interesting, fun. It adds a lot of adaptability to a party, more so than I thought. Experimented with it in other game system and role played it out. It really adds a lot of viability in areas that I didn't think of before, and it's fun to do. Thanks for taking the time to listen, and really hope you grab hold of the book whenever it's released, although it may be later rather than sooner if the backer kit doesn't go well. I'm going to have to do all the art myself, but those are the breaks. Anyways, thanks for watching, and yeah, keep on gaming.